All right, Ryan, let's get straight into it. Today we're talking about reinventing FP&A. And honestly, if I close my eyes, I can still see those color-coded spreadsheets from my early days, each version bouncing around inboxes like a bad penny. Version control? Utter chaos. I remember one particular board meeting, actually, where we presented numbers. Really robust, we thought. Only to find out they were 2 weeks out of date. The looks on their faces. Let's just say our credibility evaporated in about 6 seconds.
I can feel that pain, Olivia. I swear, sometimes it'd take longer to wrangle all those spreadsheet versions than it did to answer the actual business question. And it's not just the embarrassment, right? Like in your board meeting, but the risk. Outdated info leaves teams making decisions based on yesterday's reality. I've seen cases where sales teams overhired because finance numbers lagged. Other times, we underinvested because we didn't see how good our pipeline really was.
Exactly. Lagging reports, static models, all of it means you're driving using the rearview mirror. The world's moving, and your plan stays frozen. That's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. With how volatile things are, new markets, shifting customer demands, you can't afford that kind of latency.
I've got to jump in here. With how expectations have changed, FP&A can't just be the scorekeeper anymore. People want us at the table translating numbers into business insights, sure, but also helping spot what might be coming around the corner. Like, how have you seen that shift? Not just from finance folks, but from the execs or operational leads around you.
Oh, it's so different now. The board doesn't just ask about misses. They want to know what you'll do if a big customer churns or costs spike. And with the speed of change, they want scenario planning on demand. I think for listeners out there, I'd love to know, what have you seen go wrong when teams stick to outdated FP&A processes? Because I'll bet nearly everyone's got a horror story.
Totally. Or maybe even more interesting, how have your partners across the business started looking to finance differently? Because that's a biggie. The expectation that you're not just reporting the score, but helping draw up the new plays, if you will.
And sometimes, I'll be honest, I still triple-check the most basic formulas, just in case the rules of math have changed overnight. Anyway, this is why so many teams are moving away from those old systems, right? The risks aren't just theoretical, they're business critical, and it's time for something better.
That's a perfect segue. The big difference maker is, well, the toolkit, switching from those clunky spreadsheets to modern cloud-based platforms. When I was rolling out automation at a Fortune 500, it was wild. Just by getting rid of manual data collection, we saved, probably 40 hours a month? Suddenly my team could actually analyze instead of wrestling with Excel. And the stress level? Down, way down. I mean, nobody misses Excel gymnastics.
Excel gymnastics is the perfect phrase. Doesn't matter which country you're in, we've all done it. But the jump to proper platforms isn't just about convenience. It's about moving from lagging indicators to leading ones. Once data's in the cloud, with analytics embedded, you're able to see what's happening now, not what happened last quarter. That totally changes the role of finance, from just reacting to actually leading conversations on where the business should head next.
Absolutely. And it's not just the big players. Look at streaming companies or CPG firms. Those folks have a ton of data, but more importantly, they're leveraging scenario modeling to prep for, say, sudden shifts in demand or supply chain issues. The real kicker is, smaller teams can take a page from that playbook. Modeling out what if our top market tanks? What if a major supplier disappears? Doesn't have to be out of reach anymore. Tools like Workday Adaptive Planning or whatever you pick, they bring that kind of scenario testing into reach for smaller operations. We even saw a telecommunications firm up in Canada move rolling forecasts off manual sheets to cloud planning, and the reduction in errors alone. They could finally focus on strategic analysis, not just fixing broken formulas.
Those examples prove it. Adopting new FP&A tools doesn't just eliminate errors and save time. It frees bandwidth for finance teams to focus on what if, instead of what went wrong. And that mind shift, that's what positions finance as a real partner, because now you can anticipate market moves, not just report on them. Plus, with so many teams working remotely, being able to collaborate in real time is, well, almost non-negotiable now, isn't it?
It really is. And not to go all now back when I started, but the thing that caught me by surprise was how this tech changed morale. My team actually liked coming to meetings again. Get automation working right, and now you're not dreading month end. Instead, you get to dig into what the numbers mean, and you feel way more engaged. That's what modern planning tools should deliver. Efficiency, sure, but also energy and actual insights.
And the ripple effects keep going. You see better integration with HR, sales, and operations too, because everyone's on the same page, literally. We'll get into that more in a second, but it's such a contrast from the silos created by static, disjointed reporting. This is my favorite part of the transformation, FP&A moving from a back office, here's your report function, to an active, collaborative business partner. The whole mantra is collaboration, proactivity, challenge the status quo. It's not just about reporting. Finance teams are embedding with cross-functional groups, sitting in on project meetings, and using real-time data to drive smarter, quicker decisions. The goal isn't perfection, it's agility and relevance.
Right. And rolling forecasts are a great example. Take that telecoms company. They went from quarterly static projections to detailed, rolling forecasts updated as business realities changed. Suddenly, their finance team was able to say, here's our latest trajectory, and recommend pivots before things went sideways. Honestly, it gave them a seat at the strategy table.
Yes, and it's that move to continuous planning, supported by accessible, decision-ready data, that unlocks the magic. But it does require breaking down those good old silos. It's about embedding finance so deeply into projects that you're the folks connecting people, process, and purpose. And cross-team collaboration is a must. The research shows only 12% of organizations have fully accessible data across silos. So most teams have a way to go.
It really drives home that bridging finance and ops isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. If you want to thrive in fast-changing conditions, you need FP&A as a force for driving, and not just observing change. I always picture it like you want FP&A as the QB, not the field goal kicker. They've got to call an audible when something unexpected happens, you know?
Ha! Love the analogy. And honestly, it's about more than tech. It's a mindset. The best teams I've seen are constantly experimenting, challenging assumptions, and looking for actionable insights that move the business forward. At Workday, for example, they didn't just transform. They focused on continuous innovation, always seeking to reduce friction and add value, not just automate for automation's sake.
And let's not forget talent either. FP&A pros now need skills way beyond just spreadsheets. Analytics, storytelling, influencing, it's all on the table. The more finance partners with the business on decisions, the more crucial those soft strategic skills become. So, Olivia, any parting thoughts? Where does the reinvention of FP&A go next?
I think it's all about staying adaptable and keeping cross-functional conversations alive. The pace of change isn't slowing, so FP&A's real value is how fast we can help businesses pivot. To everyone listening, keep experimenting, keep your seat at the table warm, and don't be afraid to challenge the way we've always done it. Ryan, it's always a pleasure breaking these topics down with you.
Couldn't agree more, Olivia. And thank you to everyone tuning in. Send us your stories and questions. We love hearing what you're seeing out in the field. We'll be back soon with more on unlocking real value in FP&A. Until next time, Olivia, take care.
You too, Ryan. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.